All right. So I've been working through this series of books by Russell Brunson. He's got this framework he uses to kind of basically push you towards using their ClickFunnels software. But behind all that, there's a lot of material training, if you will, frameworks on how to produce, value on an incremental basis, so that when somebody learns about you, you give them some free stuff, you can kind of bring them forward to a higher level of commercial value, essentially through your sales funnel. And so what I've been doing is I've been looking at what he's saying, taking out some of the stuff that I don't think actually works, because there's a lot of stuff that I think works for him, but it won't work in my case. So I'm kind of pivoting on that logic, that framework, so that it'll work in my situation, because I'm a different character. I have a different set of experience and outlook on things. So what I'm working on is, I've got this concept here. I'm calling it rule your realm. And so the end point for me is, everywhere I look in all the training, all the materials out there for, in particular, an Amazon seller, because that's the main focus for the software I'm trying to sell, is everything that you do is like, there's this main, if you're looking into the stats for a product you want to sell on Amazon, you're looking at something called Keep It charts. All that is historical. One of the things I learned when I was working as a consultant in an ERP system, which is a financial system, is the big difference between an accounting and a financial system like that is, you always look in the rear view mirror in order to craft your way forward. So the idea is that if you're successful in the past, you make some new goals, you go forward. But there's something a little bit more to that, because there should be more of a practice of continual development of, I guess you can say, an opportunity funnel. And that opportunity funnel is, I think that's really the goal that I'm trying to instill into a framework, so that sellers are even more successful than when they are now. I've seen a lot of cases where let me just backtrack and just say, this is absolutely the thing. Everyone who's an Amazon seller knows this is absolutely the truth. When you make a purchase of a product, at that moment, that's when you've made your profit and loss. If you made a bad purchase because it doesn't sell fast enough, wrong cost, you didn't look at the Amazon fees properly, you've lost money there. It doesn't matter what happens downstream once you ship it to the client, or ship it to Amazon, into FBA, you got it sold, PPC ads, all that stuff. It's irrelevant, because if you made the decision at the beginning incorrectly, you're the whole downstream is going to be profit or loss based on what you've decided at the beginning. So my philosophy is, how do I, as a seller, get better insight into making better choices in that moment? So that means you have to go back further. You have to have what I'm calling an opportunity funnel. Because what happens is, so much stuff shifts. You can get brand gated, you can have compliance issues, things get shut down, all sorts of things happen. So if you're not developing a practice in your business of continually evergreen opportunities of new suppliers on one side, and then on the other side you got new products, or brands that you can go for. If you're not developing those two things, you're going to kind of get to a point where the demand is going to go, and then you're not going to have enough supply. And so the real supply chain for you is figuring out what are your supplies, where can you get them, who you want to work with in terms of suppliers, what kind of products can you sell. And the way you can select those and define that as an opportunity is by first having a goal. What is my goal in life? And so this is my whole vision for ruling your realm, is that if you've got that goal figured out first, then you start breaking it down. I need to develop a process to continually researching products, to continually researching sources for those products, or ways to get those things. And those three things are the trifecta in order to produce an opportunity. From there, I need to be able to capitalize on those opportunities. Because if I've got $1,000 to spend and I got 5 opportunities, I need to now decide which one's the best opportunity to go for. So everything in this business is all about that opportunity management. And that's where I think any software that's out there today is completely missing the ball, because it's all looking at the past. Well, it's important, but it's not the whole thing. You need to be looking in the future. Because if you're not looking at the future and where you want to go, if you don't have it clearly identified that you want to have a boat and pay for your kids' college, and you want to have financial independence, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, then you're just looking in the past and trying to figure out the next immediate step, and you're not figuring what are the two rungs ahead? And that's where I want to develop this mindset and this mind share in the world where opportunity management starts with a vision, starts with a continual development of a funnel, and that's where I think my value to you is going to be as an Amazon seller. So what I'm trying to do is I'm saying, okay, well, where I'm at today, I've got this software, it's kind of doing some stuff. What do I need to do to change that software so it's in alignment with this thinking? I've got most of that stuff already there, but I think there's a couple of ways I need to improve that. And then, leveraging what Brunson's saying, that's kind of this value stack here, because we're kind of in a higher end thing. It's a commitment. You had to make an investment to grow your business, develop your assets. Okay, but before that, I need to be able to provide some value in a smaller way that's going to also help you succeed. And sometimes that's shifting your focus, shifting your thoughts, because you don't know what I know about opportunity management and that philosophy yet. So I need to show you how it works, that it works, and that it's going to deliver value for you long term. And so I need to be able to provide those things in a way that you're going to get early wins, do little small simple stuff so that you can start to see the value in that thinking. And so I'm working on ways, and I'm working on a book, and to kind of highlight some of the ways that I've seen success in this philosophy is I did kind of some science in the last 12 months. I built up a 6-figure book of business with basically working just to kind of maintain it. It's about 5 hours a week. So I think, okay, that tells me that if I was to do that full time, I can get to 7 figures. That becomes very doable. And so I want to outline that entire journey and go month by month, what happened, which POs I made, SKU counts, all the details. I'm putting that into a book so that you can see what I did to get to 6 figures with very minimal manual effort. But I could only do that because I knew the system I had supported that. And even more basic to that, I want to be able to provide just some, if you don't want to look at a new software right now, totally get it. However, there's a lot of stuff I can do. Is this thinking, and in particular, I've got this 1585 rule that I'm starting to hone in on the true value of that and how it can apply to so many aspects of business and life. But I want to give you a cheat sheet on that. I'm working on an Excel plugin. I've already released 2 Chrome extensions called OA Search. They're available on my website, Amazon or arbenon.com/OA Search, and you can get those things for free. And I've also got a couple ideas of some other stuff I want to do, and in particular, just a goals worksheet, figuring out how can I make my goals, how can I craft those so I can forward think and start to kind of build a bit of a vision for my life. And so that way you don't really need a software, but I might just put that into something you can download out of my software. We'll have to figure that out. But I'm trying to work out here now, okay, I want you to rule your realm of opportunities. And so at one point I want to have you enjoying the implementation of that with a lot less efforts by using our software. And so what I'm saying is I think I got to do these things down here in order to reposition where I'm at so that I can move things forward. And so what I've done is said, okay, well, I've got all these things I want to do, but I went back and I said, okay, that's the vision, but I want to roll it back. What's the first 15%? And that's what these items are here. So this actually is 2 groups of 15. And so the first 15 is, I've got some people who are eager to get on the system, and I've paused my activity with that for the last week and change because I've been focusing on pausing actually and reading and learning and rethinking, where am I going with this? What are my plans? How do I need to strategize on these things? So the first 15% is I'm going to be working on an excellent onboarding experience, and I'm putting together some videos, some content that really makes it possible, and I'm going to use this 1585 rule to just make it so easy, just to let off the clutch and get into the system, because it can be daunting to go into a new software and think, okay, well, I got to move all this stuff over and this blah, 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 and we get kind of tripped up in our mind. So, good time to put the 1585 rule, and I'm going to employ that into some videos, some simple daily reminders, some weekly follow-ups, some checklists, some simple things that can be done so that you realize value day one. Day two, you get even more value by doing one more simple step. And that's very possible in this system, the way I've set it up. Once I've got this kind of really, I want to master this whole onboarding experience for everyone, and then I'm going to start to make some additional development changes, enhancing some goals, tracking management, so that I have a calculator in there right now that you can figure out how much investment capital do you need every month to make your personal income goals. And that's great, but it doesn't, if you close the screen, come back, it resets to the defaults. I want to be able to save it, but I also want to be able to add in so that you can track it permanently. I want to have this much money by this point in time for, this much money for my son's tuition, or that much money for covering my wife wants to get recertified on something. So you want to be able to have all that stuff kind of tracked somewhere, otherwise you lose focus and you won't know how much do I need when. So that kind of stuff will come. But then what's cool about that is then I can put in some additional enhancements so that every time you go and issue a purchase order, the system should be able to check and say, okay, your goal is to make this much money by this time. If you buy this inventory, you're going to be this much more close to your goal or this much further away from your goal. So it'll help you at every step of the way, making sure you're making a good choice. And then that way you're not going to make a poor investment choice in that moment of issuing a purchase order. And then likewise, I've already got this free tool, this Chrome plugin, and I'm going to be able to add ASINs, or if I'm going to a vendor site, maybe add that to the funnel, so that I'm continually building that practice of adding new items to my opportunity funnel, and therefore I'm getting more into a routine where I'm future-proofing my business. And so opportunity management, so it's more kind of that same kind of vein there. And so that's where I've decided that I think this will help to bring in the strategies that I need so that I can start to help everyone with keeping a forward-looking view of their potential risks and keeping light of sight on success by focusing on the future, not just one step but several steps ahead. And that will help you rule your realm, because you will be able to measure your results. You will be able to get immediate wins with some of these low-cost things and free things, and then eventually I hope to see you in my software and help you be successful in reaching your future goals, because you'll be empowered to rule your realm. So that's what I've come up with here based on my work yesterday and these little notes here today. And now it's about making this whole thing a reality, and I gotta make a bunch of steps on that and figure out what exactly does that look like. So that's the next thing. Anyways, that's what I'm working on. I hope you all are doing well. Cheers.